is Stacey McKibben with the Master Communicator podcast, where CEOs, C-suite executives, and senior leaders share their advice. It's 6 questions in 9 minutes because the best leaders know how to share their ideas concisely and quickly. Let's jump right in. Question number 1. In a few sentences, tell me who you are and what you do.
Hello, Stacey. My name is Danielle Du Toit. I was born in Zimbabwe and grew up there. I now live in New York and have an incredible job heading up enterprise at SeatGeek.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'll be very excited to hear what your thoughts are. I think that you'll be the first one representing so many different countries and so much influence. So I'll be excited to hear what the world has to say through your lens. Question number 2 for you. What's the best thing about leading people from your perspective?
Honestly, absolutely everything. So a funny story, when I was a child, I either wanted to be an entomologist or the boss. And the only reason I actually wanted to be the boss was because I didn't want anyone to tell me what to do. What I have subsequently found is leading people is one of the most rewarding professional things I could have ever possibly signed up for. It is humbling and it is inspiring. And truly watching people grow, allowing people to really find their X-ray vision is my absolute highlight.
Oh, it's amazing, isn't it? You know, to see somebody else get excited about who they get to become, that really is the aha moment. I love that. You know, it's interesting. Question number 3 for you. I often hear from other business leaders that business would be great if it weren't for that pesky people part. I'm curious, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, us humans are complicated. We're hard work and we come with all sorts of idiosyncrasies. So I think truly, I understand where they come from. But if you look at the fact that humans also come with an incredible amount of surprises, they're able to completely blow your expectations out of the water if you allow them. I think humans really are the magic that drive our business. And I would say even more deeply, they are the only thing that our business has. So I would gently encourage those other leaders to look at their priorities.
I love that. Man, you're just giving me soundbite after soundbite. This is awesome. I love it. So I'm curious, what other successful business leaders like yourself should be on the podcast? You know, and I'm asking that from the perspective of who should we be paying attention to? Who should we be listening to out there?
Absolutely. I mean, there are so many incredible people. Todd Richardson, Mary Kay Hughes, Malin Yen, Scott Dorsey, Jack Krutzinger, Russ D'Souza. The list goes on. I think any humans that really find their space as a leader are remarkable.
Absolutely. Oh, I love that. And we'll get out to hear, if you had to choose one of them, which one of those would you choose us to go pay attention to first?
Mary Kay Hughes.
And why is that?
She was my favorite boss.
Mm-hmm.
She has the amazing ability to hold people to really high standards and never forget that she's human or they are human.
That's so beautiful. I love that. What piece of advice about communication would you give to other leaders?
Take the time. I believe we have to, as leaders, really get into uncomfortable places. We have to be willing to have tough conversations. We also have to be willing to let silence talk. We have to be willing to listen. I really believe if you're willing to take the time to listen, you're going to find the way to inspire your team. There are so many fabulous tools out there. So there's so many books that you can read, but in the end, it is just practice. It is just remembering that it is a group of humans with a shared goal all trying to achieve.
Do you have a fun example or one where you tried to do that for yourself before and, you know, maybe fell on your face or you did it really well or?
You know, I think I've fallen on my face thousands of times. And I think that's actually the reality of being a leader is you're absolutely going to get it wrong. But in their end, if you remember that you're human and you're likely to err, it allows the person that you're speaking with to almost know that you're on the same page, that there is nothing that means that you're above them. It is just really two humans trying to communicate. And so I think in the end, our errors make us human and vulnerable and therefore accessible.
I love that because I think, again, that vulnerability piece, right, is it allows the other person to feel like they too can explore mistakes and learning from them and, you know, kind of the complex onion that they are, right? And understanding a little bit more about that to truly get to the other side.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't often recommend leadership books to my team, but The Dare to Lead by Brené Brown is one that I pretty much insist that
Brene
they read,
Brown, yeah.
because it's just so beautiful and so true and so human.
Yeah. And that point she makes about resilience and vulnerability is just so spot on.
Right. It really is.
I love that. All right. Magic question number 6 for you. Tell us about your favorite boss or teacher. Who's inspired you and influenced you?
So I mentioned my favorite boss, MK, Mary Kay Hughes. So I'll mention my favorite teacher. When I was in grade 5 at junior school, we had a teacher called Mr. Fish. I actually tried to look for him the other day because I remembered how magical he was. I don't think that we did anything in the official syllabus whatsoever. But over the course of that year, we learned everything around, sorry, that's my doorbell going off, everything around creativity, around problem solving, around innovation. He really allowed us just to see the magic in the world. And I will never forget that.
Oh my gosh. And in the 5th grade, I mean, how old would you have been at that point?
The 5th grade, gosh, quick calculation.
11?
10 years old. Yeah, 10 years old.
I mean, you think about, how impressionable a young person is at that age, and, how that was a perfect spot for Mr. Fish to show up, right?
Yeah, he really was. I think he was a blessing for anyone that he taught. He was an absolute blessing.
Oh, I love that. That's so great. Well, thank you so much for being on, Danielle. I know that, you're clearly really in tune, I think, with your leadership style and, the difference that you want to impart as a leader. And I think that's one of the biggest things is the intention that we set as leaders to carry out every single day. And, I just want to honor you for that because it clearly comes through in your messaging here. And I'm sure that other people can sense that as well. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for being on. How can people find you if they want to, get in touch or learn more from you?
So I'm kind of strange. I'm not really on any social media because I decided it was wasting too much time in my life. I am, however, on LinkedIn, and I'm on Advisory Cloud as well. So if anyone is looking for help, I'm passionate about leadership. I'd love to help.
That's great. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate
Stacey.
Of course. And this is Stacey McKibben with the Master Communicator Podcast. For more ideas and insights, please go check us out at www.concilioteam.com. And we look forward to seeing you again next time. Take care.